Hey everyone, welcome back to the High Priestess Demari channel and to another collective reading. I hope you guys are good. So forgive the bandages and the mummy looking vibe. Okay, still got my cast on. So I feel like it's kind of on point with the theme here, but let's get into it, okay? And see what you need to know at the time of you watching this. So what is it the collective needs to know at this time? Ooh, Horus, nice. Higher vision, new earth, leadership, protection. It is wild actually, because I did my henna earlier and I was actually going to put the Eye of Horus on my hand. But, you know, considering my hand is not in good stead, I figured it was going to be too difficult to do as well as I would like. So it's interesting how this has come up though. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Isis Chamber, transformation, upgrade, golden empowerment. Whoa. Very interesting. So gold could be very significant. Okay, you may feel as though there is gold light emanating from your auric field at this time, or you're being surrounded by gold light. This could be a protective practice that you adopt, okay, as a means of shielding your aura or expanding your auric field, okay, creating that spiritual protection around self, your environment, okay, your loved ones. But if not, this could be something that you're being encouraged to employ at this time, okay? Especially if you feel as though you need to double down on your protection for whatever reason. That would be a good practice, okay? And you can do that very simply by just imagining golden light radiating from your solar plexus, right? And it engulfing you with that sheer iridescent gold light, okay? And just its intensity, its brightness, its warmth, how safe it feels, right? Just allow yourself to immerse your energy in that feeling, in that sensation, what it would feel like, right? And just really embody that. It's a very easy way, right? Just visualizing it and allowing yourself to acclimatize to that frequency. Okay, so that obviously is going to be beneficial for someone out there. All right, but we're going to get more into this and see what else you need to know. But I feel like one thing you need to be aware of is that the divine have you in their sights. Okay, it's like they're keeping a watchful eye over you as well, especially if you notice that you've had birds following you, right? Or you're seeing a specific type of bird constantly appear, right? But I feel like the divine are definitely keeping a watchful eye over you, and it's for a reason. Okay, so tell me more about this. Tell me more about this for the collective. All right, so, oh, my cards are the wrong way around. So we have the Nine of Cups. So interesting. It could be connected to a dream here or something that is about to be made manifest, okay? I honestly feel like it's obviously something that has a great meaning to you, great value to you, right, on a sentimental level. So, and there could be others that may try to leech off your energy or your blessing in some shape or form. Okay, I'm really drawn to the fact that we have what looks like a feminine and a masculine figure like hanging off of this woman here who basically has these cups above her, these chalices. So yeah, it does feel like there are those who are going to be vying for your blessings in some shape or form. Your good fortune. Yeah, this is what it is, okay? Because you are entering some kind of lucky phase era. There's an air of good fortune that surrounds you. So that's why you're being encouraged to protect it, protect yourself, right? To be proactive in the ways in which you can protect your auric field, your blessings, okay? So you definitely want to be mindful of what you divulge and to who as well, because definitely an air of good fortune surrounds you at this time. Even if it felt like it hasn't as of late, that is what is changing. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles, it's directly connected to your output, okay? So something you've been doing, something you've been cultivating in the tangible is paying off, okay? So you're about to reap the rewards, right, of your efforts here, right? The fruits of your labor, as it were, quite literally, okay? So vineyards could be significant, grapes, okay? Vessels is coming through very strongly, okay? So this could be a lot to do with not just what you've been doing perhaps for work or the work you've been putting out there, the effort you've been exerting in the physical, right? In improving certain things or cultivating something here, building on something. but it could also be the emotional labor, okay, that you've been doing. So the ways in which you have been doing a lot of processing, healing, decluttering, right? Releasing, transmutation as well. Wow. Tell me more. Okay, these cards don't actually belong here. These are actually just the ends of the deck. So it's interesting how they came up as well, especially because obviously one is white and one is black, okay? So it's almost like your hand has been hidden, right? So you may have been keeping certain things close to your chest, but now there is an unveiling that's taking place. But even as these blessings start to hit, you don't have to divulge everything to everybody, right? Not everyone needs to know what's going on or the ways in which you're being blessed. It's best that you keep that to yourself, because obviously there are going to be certain people that are triggered by that. They'll be jealous of that, okay? That will vie for what you have and start concocting schemes in which, you know, they can get access to it. Okay, but I definitely feel like at the same time, whilst you have to be mindful of that, it's not to say don't enjoy it. It's not to say that you can't do anything with it, or you're not, you know, it's not okay for your work to be seen or your efforts to be seen, right? The results to be seen. Absolutely not. Okay, it is more than okay for that to be seen. Yeah, I'm telling you, 6 of Wands. So there's definitely some major success coming in here, okay? There is some kind of achievement. There is something that you have successfully navigated, right? And there is an arrival taking place here. There is an arrival here. Yeah, and again, you see the chalice as well in the form of this lotus. It kind of looks like a lotus, right? It's giving the blue lotus. It does look like the blue lotus. The blue lotus could be significant. There's a card of the blue lotus here. So again, it seems like it's connected to some kind of, it almost feels like some kind of prophesized experience, success, victory, some kind of gain, harvest. Yeah, completion, reward, gifts. Wow. But it's somehow tied to, again, the emotional work you've been doing, but also is very spiritual in nature as well. So it's like blessings from above. And that's why the divine are watching over you and your blessings. So you know that it's protected, but also you're being encouraged to do your part as well, right? It is a collaborative effort here. So what you don't realize is all the emotional heavy lifting you've been doing, right? It's actually been the thing that's been watering these blessings, right? It's what's enabled them to actually come through. And it makes sense because water is a conduit, right? Like it literally is. It's the bridge between what can be and what is. So that's very interesting. I've never got that before with the 6 of Wands energy, but yeah, I'm getting that really strongly here. Right? So your emotions was like the bridge, right? The emotional work you've been doing has been the bridge that's enabled these things to now come to fruition. Wow. And of course, you've also been doing your part in the tangible, in the physical, by tending to these seeds, right? Cultivating something, working on your craft, working on your gift here, or talents, or something that you've been creating, establishing, crafting, building, molding, whatever it is. Wow. But you've been putting the work in. Let's put it that way, my friend. Okay, you've been putting the work in for sure. There is no doubt about that. And that's why you're reaping the rewards. Okay, it's right next to that 8 of Pentacles. This could be game-changing the way this occurs as well, right? Because you're just minding your business, tending to your garden, right? Tending to your vineyard. And it's like, okay, there are results. Okay, there is something to be seen, or something coming out of your efforts, your labor, right? But there's so much more to come, right? There is so much more to come. And I think it's going to be quite shocking how that occurs, right? To the point where it could create disruption, and that it could completely shatter certain people's perceptions, right? especially with the Five of Swords being underneath the deck, right? There's something about you reaching some kind of milestone or success, or, having this run of good fortune, right? A change of fortune that is going to shatter something here for someone, a false foundation here. So this could be a belief system. This could be a way of life, an approach to success that's being absolutely obliterated, right? Something that's been long established on a very rocky foundation, or one that's become very fragmented. So yeah, that is definitely going to create some kind of cognitive dissonance here, okay? Because maybe these are a bunch of people, and that's why you're being told, be mindful of, what you divulge into who, because there's definitely going to be some people that are triggered around you, because it's like the way they conceived of being successful and how it can be done and what is required is being completely demolished by the fact that you are achieving this success and the way you are, right? They're going to say, oh, you just happen to be lucky, but there is so much more to it than that. It's not just you experiencing a bout of good fortune. Like, there is a lot that's at play here, and you've been proactive in doing your part as well. So it's not just down to good luck, okay? It's directly connected to all of the work that you've been doing. And maybe it's that they are so used to equating success with just your physical labor, right? Rather than understanding that there's more to it than just that. Okay, because if it was just physical labor that would yield this kind of result, then there would be more people that get to experience it in this way, right? Purely from just their output on a physical level. And that's just not what we have here. Okay, so there's a lot to do with you really sort of embracing this golden light, okay? Experiencing this upgrade. It literally says it on the card, right? And you just walking through this portal, entering the chamber, and doing it confidently, right? With that Six of Wands. And not from a place of thinking you're better, but from just knowing that you're deserving, okay? And not questioning that. Even if you were at one time, I don't think you are anymore, okay? So that's really key in this as well. Knowing that you have every reason to be in the Chamber of Isis, right? Why not you? And so it's time to enter. Wow. Tell me more. Yeah, strength. Exactly. It can feel intimidating. It's almost like, when they say, oh, there are rooms waiting for you that you don't even know exist, right? There are rooms that you haven't even walked through yet that has your name edged in it. That's the energy here with the strength card. It's like at one time you didn't even know this chamber existed. You didn't even know this golden frequency was available to you. You didn't even know that you had, the divine keeping a watchful eye over you, right? And protecting, safeguarding your blessings here. Like, there's so much that is coming to light now that you weren't aware of in the past, And so it can be quite shocking, this realization, like, wow, this has been afforded to me. But, obviously it's been a journey and a process to get to this point, but I had no idea this is what it's been leading me to. But I see it now, I recognize it, okay? And yes, not only do I see it, but I am mustering the courage, the bravery, the resolve to see it through and enter this chamber, right? Giving myself permission to experience this upgrade, this change. Whoa, regardless of what anyone thinks or feels, regardless of how my ego may be starting to buckle, right? It's like, from like a higher standpoint, that you have every reason to occupy that space. You have every reason to experience this change, So any part of you that may waver, I feel like you're getting a hold of it, but not through maliciousness or harshness in any way, but just, like this figure here, looks very similar to Isis, right? So I'm getting that. It's like that gentle mothering of saying, calm down. It's okay. You don't need to bark. You don't need to fret. You don't need to stress. I understand the apprehension, but you have to know that you have every reason to be here. I am directly inviting you into this space. And that could be literally your own higher self speaking. Okay. the higher self aspects associated with the feminine, right? That is coming through in the avatar of Isis to say, listen, you are welcome here. You belong here. So I understand that this is new territory. I understand that this is rocking the boat in some shape or form, okay, for certain people around you, but that's not your concern. Your concern is experiencing this change, right? So yeah, you know, and that's it, you know. I feel like you are possibly concerned as to whether or not you're truly ready with that Four of Swords, right? There's almost a little bit, it's not even self-sabotage at this point. It's just, there is a little part of you that still feels overwhelmed by the prospect of what this is going to open and create for you. And so there may be a part of you connected to your shadow that's trying to convince you that you're not ready, or you need to heal more, or you need to learn more, or you need to become more, but you know that's not true, right? So again, you know, just soothing that part of yourself that feels triggered, that feels threatened, that feels unsafe to explore this upgrade, this new way of life, this new experience, okay? It's just about soothing that part of yourself and just reaffirming to that part of yourself that it is safe. You have nothing to worry about, okay? Trust the process, trust yourself, trust the divine. So beautiful. So it just feels like a rite of passage, and it's normal. It's normal for there to be like some mixed feelings, mixed emotions, thoughts, okay? But I honestly feel that your courage, your resolve, your determination, your enthusiasm to have this experience is going to override any sort of nagging fears that could remain. Okay, so I honestly don't feel like that's going to stop you on any level. You've worked too hard, you've come too far to not walk into the chamber now. So that's what I see you doing, okay? So guys, this is amazing. So if you're seeing this, just know that you are experiencing a significant elevation here. There is some kind of upgraded life experience that you're about to have, okay? So get ready, but there's nothing to worry about, okay? All is well. So guys, thank you so much for checking this out. I hope this serves you well. If you resonated with this message, make sure you hit the like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts, okay? Let me know if you're seeing any of this symbolism, such as the Blue Lotus, Horus, the Eye of Horus, Isis, the chamber here, okay? Anything like this. If you're seeing any of these motifs, possibly even birds, right? Let me know. But otherwise, guys, also, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do, so you know when I'll be going live next, and also when I'm posting your readings, you'll be able to check them out, all right? But guys, take care, and until next time, bye.